I would almost argue, which
You
I
would
like
always
doing.
argue. Yeah.
I would almost argue that playing it safe is the riskiest thing to do
Right.
because there is no safe.
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
Right now, while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
We took our notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies led Craig and I to selling more than $10 million in premium in the last 2 years.
On this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the same results.
Just go to live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
If you jump on this call with us, we're certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.
Welcome back to another exciting Playbook with Craig Pretzinger and Jason Feldman.
Previously on Playbook.
Oh, you gonna give a pre?
No, that's all they say, like previously on Lost.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then they cut.
I forget who said this last week, but I wrote it down because I was like, oh, that's such a good proverb. A Latin proverb. You ready for it?
From Latania?
Yes. And it goes like this. It is fortune favors the bold, or it's fortune favors the brave, or fortune favors the strong, are common translations of this Latin proverb. But like fortune favors the bold. I love that because it's like, how many times do we just coast through life and we don't take those bold moves? Or vice versa. Sometimes we do. But when we do, it's usually the biggest impacts that we've had on our own life comes from bold moves. It doesn't come from just going through the day every day.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that it's a step in the bold direction to be a business owner, right? To put yourself out there, own a business, take that risk, and you need to push, right? If you want to play it safe, why not just have a job?
Right. Well, I think at some point we always get we think at some point there's a lot at stake, right? So then you tend to play it safer. But that's not what got you there.
Nope.
So it is funny because you do want to be safe. I mean, everybody wants to be safe at some.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, stop being a wuss. Take some big chances. Like you should be taking some chances.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what business is, right? It's a series of calculated risks with the payoff being greater than the investment.
Right.
And so you and I are both, or you finished and I'm reading that book that I'm going to keep secret to the elite dudes group. But really good, where in the beginning, he does a Bezos quote talking reference to baseball. And I think you're familiar with baseball. And then versus an entrepreneur. Like in baseball, you have the opportunity to hit a grand slam very rarely, right? The bases have to be loaded. The perfect pitch has to happen. You have to swing the bat the right way. A lot of things have to happen for it to work. But in business, there's unlimited opportunity for grand slams, right? You can try different things to hone in, and that grand slam isn't just 4 runs. That grand slam could be 100 times, 200 times, 1,000 times return on the investment when you hit it. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Or did I just go off on a total tangent?
Yeah. No, I mean, you got to get up to bat if you want to hit the ball.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is it's not just a hit. Like you can crank it out of the park with the right investment, right? There may be some risk with going with a certain strategy. You have to put in some money, do whatever. But what could come out on the other side is way, 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 way outweighs when it wins, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you do something that ends up being, 20 times. Well, then you could take a bunch of other ones to other risks, fail at them if that one to win that 20 times one pans out.
Yep. I would almost argue, which I
would
like
always
doing.
argue. Yeah.
I would almost argue that playing it safe is the riskiest thing to do.
Right.
Because there is no safe. And usually when you try to play it safe, you're not investing the time and energy into things that could really help propel your business.
Yeah, I think so. You got to be
Is that
bold.
a fair argument?
It is, because playing it safe leads to being stagnant, leads to a non-growth situation. And we all know if you're not growing, you're dying, right? In order to grow, there has to be some sort of investment, whether it's time or it's money. And that's just what it takes, right? You can't just grow magically. So you have to invest time or money, usually some combination of those two things, of the resources, in order to grow, and then get that payoff from it.
And the market is growing. Like all the other agencies out there are evolving. They're moving. They're not stagnant, right? So if you're not evolving at a steady pace, you will be passed. So the whole idea of playing it safe and just not doing anything, you're losing. You're going backwards.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
Yeah, no. I was just saying that you can't. If you're standing still, you're actually falling behind because the screen's moving. It's like the old video games, the side scroller, like Mario, right? It's going to keep moving. Like guaranteed, it's going to keep moving.
Right.
And if you stand still, you're going to fall behind. Like there is no standing still.
I know you and I have both had these conversations with agents where it's, I want to, if we're talking about teledudes or we're talking about whatever, some marketing strategy, and they're like afraid to pull the trigger. And it's like, I'm going to wait until next month, or I'm going to wait a couple months and see where I'm at. And it's like, well, in a couple months, doing the same thing is going to put you in a worse position, right? Because if you're not growing, you're dying. So you will lose business between now and that time. And you'll also lose time. You're going to lose that month that you could have been 1 month ahead if you hadn't waited. And I know I've been there, right? I was in that spot where I was like, too afraid to pull the trigger and just go all in. But taking the big risk, having the faith in the strategy that we've implemented certainly did pay off. And it wasn't all rainbows and unicorns. That's for sure.
Right. 100%. You got to be bold. Got to be bold in everything you do. Be bold because fortune favors the bold. And just like we always say, to your point, if you take a lot of swings, you're going to connect to that ball at some point.
And knock it out of the park.
Take those swings. Be bold.
Yeah.
And that's a playbook.
You wanted to say that's a coffee talk.
Well, I always want to say that.
I know. Well, thanks for listening. And we will see you on the next playbook.
Hey, what are you still doing here?
Well, while you're still here and while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
Yeah, if you weren't listening before, we took notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies did help Craig and I write over $10 million in premium in the last couple years.
And let me tell you, on this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the very same results.
Again, that's live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
And if you jump on with us, we are certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.